weighty splashes here. If I'm being honest, I feel like Microsoft would have a single live event for State of Decay 3, kind of like what they did with Call of Duty. Really interesting. I mean, obviously, guys, we're kind of diving right into it. Appreciate you being here, Weighty Splash. It's interesting because I think about Call of Duty, right? I'm wearing the a Call of Duty hoodie right now because obviously today is the beginning of the open beta for Call of Duty Black Ops 7. And, everything that I've seen from COD Next, I'll kind of get to my thoughts on Black Ops 7 and what I've seen so far. But specifically revolving around State of Decay 3, Xbox doing its own event for State of Decay 3 would be really awesome. I just don't know if that is something that's going to happen because when we think about Call of Duty, a franchise that has been around for so long, it's felt like, because it really has, it's been around for a long time. I'm not going to sit here and say that Xbox would never do a State of Decay 3 Direct or a State of Decay 3 Next or what a State of Decay Next, kind of like what they did with Call of Duty. But more than likely, Xbox is just going to kind of, all of a sudden, we're going to get something. And more than likely, what we're going to be getting is gameplay. Whether it is at the Game Awards, a Dev Direct, or the Xbox Game Showcase, which is what I had predicted pretty much from the very beginning. We were going to get a State of Decay 3 gameplay trailer at the Xbox Game Showcase of 2026. So I think that's more likely where we are, because when I think about what Xbox is doing, or really what Call of Duty does every year, is they bring together a number of creators, streamers, pro players, and they put them into one space and they're all playing the new game, like Black Ops 7, for example. And it's really cool that they have an event like that. And I think it would be awesome for Xbox to do that for State of Decay 3. I have a feeling that they aren't, because State of Decay 3, although it's growing rapidly in popularity, it's not quite an Xbox flagship IP yet, like Call of Duty, because obviously Xbox owns Call of Duty now, or like Gears of War. I think Gears of War E-Day, it's more likely we see a Gears of War Direct, which I think we're going to see the Direct at the Xbox Game Showcase of 2026. But I could see them doing some kind of Gears of War Next or something, kind of like what they did with Call of Duty Next, where they fly out a bunch of Gears of War creators, pro players, streamers, things of that nature, to test out the new Gears of War E-Day. And have put everybody into a space, kind of like what they did with Call of Duty. Now, Call of Duty is one of the biggest franchises of all time. So obviously for Gears of War, it's not going to be quite the same, I don't think. I'm pretty sure that they would have a much smaller venue for Gears. But more than likely, at least in my mind, I'm thinking they would do something like that for Gears of War, or they would do something like that for Halo. If they did that for State of Decay 3, it would be absolutely incredible. I just don't know if Gears of War, or I should say Xbox, I don't know if they view State of Decay the way they do Gears or Halo or Call of Duty. It's not quite a flagship IP. I think we're one game away from that happening, and I think State of Decay 3 is going to be the turning point for Xbox in terms of, it will be up there with Gears of War, with Halo, with Fable, as one of Xbox's major IPs. That was an exclusive, and I believe that State of Decay 3 is going to once again break the mold of being an Xbox console exclusive. I think it's going to go to PlayStation as well as Xbox. And so I guess all in all, what I'm getting at is I don't believe we're going to get a State of Decay next, kind of like what we had with Call of Duty next. But I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I would love to see creators getting flown out to a location, and just players, just gamers who absolutely love the State of Decay franchise. They get flown out and they get shown the new game, and you get hands-on with the new title. They're going to do a lot of play testing, certainly. I just don't know if they're going to be doing like a beta. They're going to, fly people out to test the game or play it. It's a smart idea because it builds a lot of hype. I just don't know if Xbox is going to do that here with State of Decay 3. If and when they would ever do a State of Decay 4, I think that's maybe where they would do that. Because I don't even know if they're going to do a direct or something of that nature for Fable. I just don't even know if that's something that they're going to do, where they're flying out creators and stuff to play Fable in a certain location, like they are for Call of Duty. A lot of the multiplayer shooters like Gears, Halo, Call of Duty, it's a little bit different because those are such massive IPs that they can justify flying out all these creators, all these streamers, pro players to play test the game and, obviously build a lot of hype for the game through streaming it, like live streaming the event, so on and so forth. So all in all, I don't think that they're going to do a, State of Decay direct or next or whatever, but it would be awesome. And it's certainly wishful thinking.